The greatest cartoon characters of all time, classic television, exciting football in the spring. This is the USCFL Network, celebrating 40 years of excellence.
Let's get ready to rumble!
YouTube, the American Association of Animation and First and 10 Productions presents the USCFL pregame show. An inside look into the United States Cartoon Football League and a preview of tonight's featured game, right here on the USCFL Network, presented by Robbie Graham.
Greetings, cartoon and football fans, and especially fans of She-Ra. This is Robbie Graham of the USCFL Network as we continue the new She-Ra's Overtime Challenge. Once again, for those of you who are fans of the USCFL and live in the United States, we once again wish you a very happy Thanksgiving, and we hope that you will enjoy the holiday as it was meant to be enjoyed. If you're wondering why the intro to this video looked like an old-time movie, it's because of the content of episode 7 of the new She-Ra series for season 4. As we go into round 7, the new She-Ra has a score of 110 points with a minus 50-point differential and only a 6-point margin of error. If the episode that we're going to present in this video this week scores less than 2 points, the competition is over with. Remember, this is sudden death overtime, and the new She-Ra has managed to stay in it for 6 episodes. But will she survive the 7th to move on to round 8? We will find out momentarily. And now, here is my moderators and my reviews for Episode 7 of the new series. Once again, as a reminder, we're doing these episodes in chronological order, and therefore, Episode 7 of Season 4 will be referred to as Episode 33. And for Round 7, the episode is titled Mysteries. And here is my senior moderator's take on this episode. He wrote, and I quote, "After their latest mission fails, Queen Glimmer and the princesses withdraw to Bright Moon to consider how this occurred. They had thought that the Horde was monitoring Adora, but she was not on the failed mission to retake Drill. That leaves them with the unpleasant thought that one of them must be a spy. Adora wastes no time in accusing Shadow Weaver, who has been given more freedom of movement by Glimmer. Mermista, a fan of mystery novels, takes it upon herself to act as lead detective. She interrogates the princesses one by one, as well as Bo and Seahawk. Each person is asked to account for what they did and what they saw during the failed raid. During the interrogations, Flutterina / Double Trouble sneaks off to communicate with Catra. He gleefully reports of all the strife that he is causing. Catra tells him that the attack is imminent, and he only needs to keep the rebellion closeted away in Bright Moon for a short while longer. The princesses are shocked to be informed that someone has sabotaged their communications center. However, Glimmer tells them that backup communications gear is secretly away in the dining hall. While Glimmer and Adora are arguing, Flutterina starts searching the dining hall, only find that they have fallen victim to a trap carefully laid out by Glimmer. Glimmer's supposed argument with Adora was only a ruse. Flutterina attempts to flee, but is caught in a trapping spell. Flutterina reveals herself as Double Trouble and gloats that even as he is captured, the Horde has already launched its attack and has captured Mermista's undersea kingdom of Selenius, which controls access to the seas of Etheria. The episode is like a classic clip show, where flashbacks are used to tell the story without requiring new footage to be filmed. The attack on Drill was shown over and over again from multiple viewpoints. That said, by the end of the episode, the Horde had captured important territory that had previously tried to remain free by following a policy of neutrality towards the Horde. I give this episode a score of 6 because the story advanced quite a bit. In addition, Double Trouble's spying was uncovered. And now here is my take on this episode, and I wrote as follows. The episode begins with the major rebellion members in Bright Moon are gathered as Glimmer is upset as almost every rebellion stronghold has fallen to the Horde. The others are confused as to how and why the Horde would know. They still thought that the Horde is still tracking Adora. Then Mermista had the notion that there was a spy among them. She used what she had known from a series of Mermistry books. She wouldn't rest until the spy would be uncovered. However, the mystery she knows about the most involves murder. Although Adora is upset that she was used as a distraction, she's still convinced that Shadow Weaver is messing with Glimmer's head, and Adora thinks that she's the spy. Mermista quickly disproved that Shadow Weaver isn't the spy. Then she said that everyone in the castle is to be investigated. Flutterina has camped out outside the castle in a tent. As Double Trouble, it informs Catra that the rebellion has their heads between their legs, still in the dark about who the spy really is. Then Mermista and Perfuma begins their questioning by using police-like tactics. Their first interrogation involved the general of the guards. She tells them about the team's locations in drill along with how things went wrong. Then Bo tells them about the plan he had, including the use of a high-tech visor. He felt guilty thinking he was the spy. He claimed to have had a missing tracker pad. But the others weren't even accusing him of anything. Adora keeps insisting that Shadow Weaver is the spy. So Shadow Weaver was telling her that she was in her garden making tea. Then Adora finds out that Shadow Weaver can now go about the castle without guards. Then Seahawk was telling Perfuma and Mermista of his whereabouts, making up the story as he went along, only for them to tell him that they lost Drill in spite of his efforts. Then Glimmer was asking Flutterina about her whereabouts of when the battle took place. Adora and Glimmer continued to be at odds with each other. Then random people were being questioned. Bo keeps thinking he's the spy, but no one was getting nowhere. Then Adora convinces Glimmer to stay put instead of going off to fight back. Then the others told them that the communications panel had been severed. Then Glimmer came to the conclusion that it wasn't an accident, but rather it was sabotage. Glimmer informs everyone that a spare panel was in the dining hall. Mermista then said that the spy was one of them, which led to a lot of finger-pointing. Then Glimmer and Adora argued about Adora questioning Glimmer's authority, but it turned out to be an act. Flutterina goes to the dining room to look for the backup communications panel. Then she got busted. She was outnumbered 7-1. Then Mermista explained of how the trap was set. Flutterina revealed herself to the others of being double trouble. When it licked an eye and blinked sideways, everyone was grossed out by it. Then Double Trouble actually complimented them on their act. Double Trouble explains its involvement in this plot. Finally, Double Trouble tells them about how the Horde took over Selenius. Glimmer teleported herself, Bo, Adora, and Mermista to the area and how it was destroyed with Horde banners everywhere. Mermista was devastated by what she saw and fell to her knees. The episode ends on this note with Catra and Hordak gloating. In my opinion, it would have saved more time if they had just said that Colonel Mustard did it in the conservatory with a candlestick. Even though they discovered who the spy was, here's a word of advice. Stick to fighting a war and leave the mystery solving to Scooby-Doo and Mystery Inc. I give this episode a score of 3. But if my junior moderator and you on YouTube give it a higher score, we will change it. Therefore, after round 7, the new She-Ra now has a score of 116 points, with a minus 44-point differential and a margin of error of 4 points. Next week, we go back to reviewing 2 episodes. Once again, we wish you a very happy Thanksgiving to our fans and followers in the U.S. And until next week, I remain humbly, obediently yours. Goodbye for now.